Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, once again, here we are, guys. Thursday evening, what is it, July 24th, as I say, cracking on through it. So, all right, a bit of a different show last night. Caz will come in. I think she'll make a bit of comment on that as well when she comes in and gets her 6 shares done or whatever she's allowed to do at the moment, which is not too many. In the meantime, guys, let's, war on women's sports over. Trump transports ban calls for Australia to follow. Well, we should be following and we should be putting pressure there. How many have actually got onto the NRL, your local club, your CEO and your coach or captain about Westpac, guys, and their involvement in this this scourge of the earth that we're having to deal with, so it needs to be brought to light and we need to do it. Culture of dependency under the rise of Labor. Well, we're going to talk about that. All right. When Kaza comes in, when she's right there, I can't see in there at the moment, but we're going to talk about the this culture of dependency that they're creating for us, guys. Because this is exactly what they're doing. It's their playbook, Now, a heap of jobs going to go from New South Wales Transport Department. Okay, nearly 1,000 jobs, guys. All right. Now, we'll see how this goes down. But again, saving 600 million. Well, we gave away 600 million for a football club. All right. That, and the bloke we gave the money to, the CEO, ends up, getting the sack because he's got Chinese relations or Chinese interests. Anyway, so now they're when a rare virus spreads to new areas. Look out, guys. They're,
I'll have it back then.
Yeah.
All right. I'm back.
Yeah, they'll have
I got a shit out.
All right, hang on 2 secs. World's highest court issues groundbreaking ruling for climate action. And here's what it means for Australia. So what it means, guys, is they're ruling the roost and they're telling you what's going to happen in your country. All right, it's insane. But a couple of things I've got down here, Kaz, that I haven't started on yet. Firstly, Craig Vine well done again today in Shellharbour, bloke. Absolutely brilliant. The clip's up there, guys. I've shared it on my site. But, yeah, Craig's just kicking butt. All right, putting these. And, you know, as this lady found out today when she went to ring the cop says there's nothing they can do about it. There is nothing they can do about it. So, guys, get to your chemists. Get to your doctors, all right? There is nothing they can do. We've got event numbers. All right, so number one, that's it. And Jody Lowe's thing, guys, community. All right, well, let's get on it. Go and have a look at what he's got up there, you know, take what works for you. Be your own person in this, all right? This is what this is all about, all right? You getting active in your community. But, you know, me and Caz, yeah, going to have a chat because, you know, I'm going to put out a couple of things on what I see about these bio restrictions being lifted, guys. And I think that's a great way for these guys to keep moving forward on shutting down our meat industry. Why? For the simple fact that if we start taking meat from these areas, Canada, Mexico, and the US, and what happens if we get tainted meat? What happens if foot and mouth happens to come over? What happens to the Australian market? So that's my idea on it. I think it's a move that's not going to do or going to open us up to nefarious ways if they want to do it. Now, Caz has a different idea on it. Go, Caz.
I think we're the stopover for meat that will be transported into China. That's what I think. So, yeah,
so
I think
that the Australian market is going to benefit by pushing in because Trump doesn't sell to China. We'll, you know, offset and start and sell it in China. Yeah, is that what you're? Yeah,
that's what I think. Yeah, I'd say that's how Xi is avoiding the sanctions because China has a huge appetite.
Yeah, I reckon it's an open deal for easily shutting us down through the world pandemic, the World Health Organization. That's what I.
Well, you could be correct. You know, there's lots of nefarious things still going on in the background. You know, as well.
Now, 3 billion years. By the end of this year, Caz, we've given $3 billion to this AUKUS deal that Scott, you know, Morrison's over there cocking on about. Okay, $3 billion. We're not going to see these things for 30 years yet. Like, this is just another absolute load of hogwash as far as I'm concerned. Your view?
Look, Trump wants to increase our spending ability so that we can defend ourselves. That's not a wrong thing.
What,
now,
giving us something in 30 years? Well, how's that defending us, man? It'd be all over.
I agree. It could be a lot.
So why aren't we going to Trump and saying, "Listen, man, we can build subs. You know, we
can build our own." Well, on that, I agree. So we need to actually, but like we probably don't have the ability. Like one of the reasons why we're so behind in nuclear is because we haven't actually done any nuclear building. Like as far as like, because nuclear is just a power thing. It can be used for good or for bad. It's like all for bad. It's neutral, but it can provide a lot of power. But see, the thing is that what we've got a shitload of is thorium. So why aren't we actually using our own people to develop thorium-based energies, thorium-based submarines, thorium-based anti-gravity? China's going to beat us all to the anti-gravity. It already has. It's actually commercialized it now.
We have free energy, all right, and we have a few things, guys, all right, and so again, you know what I mean. We're only behind in these industries, Caz, because we've been raped, pillaged, and plundered, and they've been stopped doing. You know, they've been directed in what they got to do.
Look, and that's the thing, which actually brings in coal. Okay, now the reason why we've been raped, pillaged, and plundered is because we've been misinformed a lot of the time. Now, I realise that some people were upset with coal last night, but what you've got to understand is that coal's just a purist as far as like truth and facts go, and we need that. Coal I count as a friend. And yet he would do the same to me. If he thought that I was traveling down the wrong path, he would actually call me out and he would say, this is wrong. And he would go hard on me. Okay. He never goes light on anybody. And that's because, but we desperately need people like that because this is how we've gotten into the situation that we have because we've allowed things to just slide. She'll be right, mate. It's actually not right. And so what we need to do is we need to celebrate it. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to work with the people that he's mentioned. Doesn't mean we're not going to have them on. All it means is that, okay, there's a time for redress. Sometimes, now I've apologized for things that I've gotten wrong. Dave's apologized. it's just a case that we need to actually up our standards at the moment, because we're in a battle and it's against some stuff that's very nefarious. So we have to have really high integrity and standards.
And I'll tell you what makes me feel good. Cole hasn't attacked me yet, and he hasn't attacked Caz. So, yeah, and he doesn't care, man. He'll go anyone. All right. So tells me I've done all right so far.
But if he thinks we're traveling down if he thinks that we're going in the wrong direction, don't worry. He'll be there. He'll be knocking and he'll be saying, and I actually welcome that, because we're not always right. And if we need another view that's really strong and is argued exceptionally well, he argues things exceptionally well, then, this is what we need. We need honesty and we need integrity. Yep. And I applaud him in that.
Okay, so Albo, protecting penalty rates. He's not protecting penalty rates, guys. He's giving the community a little bit of something out there that's going to make everyone feel good, whilst he shuts down the industry with the intent on you having nothing and being happy and eating bugs. So don't think all this penalty rate bullshit is them keeping up with anything, guys. This is just all like the dangling the carrot. It's all crap. It's all bullshit.
Tony Price, I'm sick of trust the plan. The plan was us. The plan was us all along.
Yeah.
It was us,
Too true.
It's always been us, and we are doing a smashing job because we're actually out and about and we're actually doing a whole heap of stuff and we're waking up people. And I get that the people haven't joined us yet, but they will. They absolutely will, because everything's just not going according to where they want us to go. They're pulling
down 1,000 people out of the transport sector. Look out. People are going to be hurting, man. And these are echelon jobs. This is not, on the ground jobs. This is the,
And in admin.
All in admin and everything. And so, hierarchy, big dollars, 600 million there. But what about this? How do they spend $600 million on and give 200 million to the, South Pacific about, helping look after it? Like, it's just insanity, man. Why? Anyway.
All right, look, let's get on with it. Now, Rocco was at the court today and he had this to say. We'll only play a little bit of it because it's quite long.
Rocco Vardy arriving late for the wonderful Michael Schultz here. His hearing has just been, it's been over, I've been told. How many have we got, Rene, today? About 30? How many have we got? Outside Penrith.
Oh, it's definitely about 20 people here, but not everybody signed. So you got about 16.
Oh, yeah, sure, no worries. Yeah. And Michael, I'm sure you absolutely smashed it in there, as usual. Absolutely.
It was beautiful.
Beyond.
Absolutely beautiful to see.
Good work, brother.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I never responded to that, and that's why they threw that back in today, in with the traffic. It caught me a bit off guard, but I managed it proper. I made it very clear. In fact, I could read the script that I...
Please do.
Guys, that's on our website. Go and watch it because, we've got a lot of stuff because our people are out and about everywhere. So, did you want to comment on that before we go on?
Yeah, he's standing his ground. He's doing really well. He's, it's a game of cat and mouse in there at the moment, all right? And we can say that Schultz is winning because... he's getting to leave the court again without actually contracting, all right, or without going into their system. So, again, he's had a few visits now, but each one of them have left with him not contracting and them not having any jurisdiction over him. So they push it down the line. They're just kicking the can down the line, guys. He's doing really well.
Look, we've covered Mornington Council backing down, and here was the video. Thank you, Elizabeth Stewart, for providing this for us.
How awesome do these flags look? It's a perfect night for waving the flag, to defend our flag. Here we are here down at the Mornington Peninsula Shire, standing to defend our flag. Just magnificent. This flag is worth fighting for. It's the only flag that should be up on the flagpole, not these other ones.
We'll cut that short again because we've got a big line up here. But thank you very much for that. That was awesome footage. Guys, wherever you are, whatever you're covering, make sure you just send us some video footage of it.
Maybe that's a good time to bring in that little message I got sent from that lady, Caz. You know, we're standing up there for our flag about things. But Caz, read this.
Yeah, Bundaberg Regional Council and somebody's name that I won't say. We refer to the above proceedings. The council instructs that this matter is finalised. In our file is now closed. Please direct to council any inquiries as to rates account for this property. The person has written, "Hi Dave, I thought I would let you know I have been fighting the council rates for a couple of years, had a court number, etc. My last letter stated that they were accused of withholding info under Section 430 of the Criminal Code Act. Within 2 hours, my case was closed and file was shut. This may help others. I am ready for their next fraud, though."
So there you go, guys. All right, there's a criminal code that she's given you, that she's used. It's worked, all right, for you people out there that are fighting with your rates. Peter G, hope you're watching tonight. There's one for you, mate. Yeah, so get onto it, guys. Use it. Use what works. This is what we got to do.
That's right. And there's somebody else that I'm going to bring in a minute, but here's just a little reminder. This is how much they're ripping us off.
Taxpayers are forking out almost $7 million a year to keep the Prime Minister in his job, his house and his jet during overseas trips. New analysis from the Institute of Public Affairs found it cost $2.5 million to maintain the lodge in Canberra and Kirribilli House in Sydney. The PM's salary also comes in at more than $600,000 a year after it was recently bumped up.
He's so worth $7 million. What's everyone worried about? Like, gee, I just love paying my tax to that man. But hang on a minute. There's another alternative. Look at this.
This is the tax strike that Australia needs. Not a protest, not a march, a movement. Self-governed and self-responsible. Paper over protest. Because you can do more with a lawful notice than you can do with a megaphone in the streets. The system is built on paperwork, administration, consent, contract, signatures. And guess what? You're allowed to revoke that consent. You're allowed to renegotiate your agreements. That's not rebellion, that's remedy. And the only reason most people don't take this path is because they are afraid. The fear of authority, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of being the first one to stand up and say, no, not anymore. But everywhere I look, I'm seeing it. The bureaucratic corruption, community funding that never reaches the people, NFPs hoarding millions while Aussies struggle, and the public servants living large while the families tighten their belts. So if you want more deep dives on this, check out my Facebook group. I'm exposing how the NFP sector launders legitimacy while the community gets crumbs. It's time to stop asking, stop begging, stop waiting. Start withdrawing your energy, withdrawing your consent, and making a stand in writing. Start using your voice where it counts, in the law, in structures, in commerce. Because the tax strike has begun, and this one doesn't need permission. So join us, learn the process, and take back your power. Check out the link on my profile.
Now, I've emailed this girl. I don't know who she is, but she puts out great content. I've emailed this girl, and I've asked her to come on the show. Guys, if you know her, basically ask her to come on the show. I'm going to go through with it. Okay, I'm going to do it because it's very difficult for me being with the kind of work that I do in order to avoid the tax going out. So I'm going to pilot it and there you go. I'm going to pilot it and see how we go. And then what we'll do is we'll show everyone how to do it.
Mary Stimson said she knows Abby. I know Abby.
Awesome. Can you please let her know that we'd love to have her on the show, and I am making the commitment that I'm going to go through with it. So
cool. Too Mel as well.
Yes. Yeah, no, well, if we all withdraw, if there's a way of legally withdrawing from the ATO and the tax, like how long can they last? How can they last? I can't.
Thanks, Mary.
Okay, machete attacks on the rise again.
Again.
Western
I thought you couldn't
Suburbs
buy them
High
anymore.
School has been locked down after a gang of thieves armed with machetes went on a wild rampage.
Terrified students cowered in classrooms as police rounded up most of the intruders after they crashed a stolen Porsche onto an oval. Julia Passarelli has the latest.
Head down, handcuffed and marched to a police car after sending a school into lockdown, allegedly armed with this machete.
It was honestly scary because the classroom was all glass, so we didn't really know what was going on.
The teen, one of 6 who packed into this allegedly stolen Porsche, dumped next to Manor Lakes College after a police chase through the western suburbs.
Some guys crashed the fence, or crashed that over there, and then they jumped over the fence. They started running around the school like maniacs. I saw one actually grab onto something on his waist.
Some folks who had entered the school probably had some machetes on them.
Students stuck inside classrooms for an hour and a half, nervously watching as police swarmed their school.
It was a horrifying experience for everyone, and there were many parents here, waiting for their children.
Police say the luxury car was stolen from a Point Cook home this morning.
This is an interesting comment.
What's that?
BlackRock now owns the ATO. I don't know, but I presume you wouldn't be putting that up there if it wasn't correct, and you hadn't had a look at it. But that's the interesting factor.
Is that right? I'll have to look into that. All right, so we've got a lot of problems now. Look, Cole mentioned this last night. This article was sent to me by probably Dave, I think. So, so foreign truck drivers are causing chaos on Australian roads, insiders warn. And having travelled myself recently, I can absolutely assure you it is true. The trucks that have been brilliant. For
and
about
the MSM's not reporting on them, Caz. There's more accidents in, it's crazy. When you go to community places and that's where you'll be seeing it. But they are not reporting on it, guys. All right, this is open slather on you Anglo-Saxons. It's like giving these guys a license to just go and kill with a B double. It's just unreal. It is unreal.
Michael Offendale, we've had him on the show. He ran for the Senate, and he has this to say. He's absolutely correct. The CCP, it's a vertical integration. I've explained it before, but it's where our laws are being changed so that there's not too much shock, okay?
The slow, quiet death of Australia, not from war, not from collapse, but from within, from communism. Let's call it what it is. Race or class-based land seizures, speech censorship, energy rationing, global treaties overriding national law. That's not progress, it's communism with an Aussie accent. Anthony Albanese is pushing it, and politicians like Lawrence Springborg are enabling it. And every fake treaty, net zero policy and native title handover is part of the plan. You don't vote for it, you don't get a say. You just pay the bills, shut your mouth and get called a racist if you resist. Well, we used to be smarter than this. We once banned communism in this country because we knew it only brings suffering, control and collapse. As Ronald Reagan warned, if we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And he was right. This is the last stand for our land rights, our voice, our nation. They want to erase your history, steal your property and break your spirit, all in the name of global justice. Well, here's my answer. Fuck off. You want communism, go live under it. Leave Australia the hell alone, you weird bastards. Free to beer, free Australia.
My sentiments exactly, Blake. We got some work to do, guys, because they are not even going to say it. We know what they're doing. All right, we need to wake up the average Australian. That's where this community thing that's on now, guys, this little run through your communities is vital. I'm telling you, if you can make this a success, all right, and open up your community, all right? And then, I'd love to come and speak at places. You get a hall organised and get some people there, around the joint, I mean, I can't come too far, but, yeah, level 33 is becoming very popular, isn't it, Craig? Especially around Wollongong, mate. Look into that one, guys. Yeah. Anyway, construction company.
Look, this late-term abortion, we haven't really covered as much as we need to. It's so important. This is their little sacrifice. They need to actually offer this sacrifice. Don't think for a second that these people are atheists. They are not atheists. Okay, and Dr. Joanne Howe, she has been fighting it every step of the way.
That this payment could go to those who opt to have a late-term abortion.
Having a stillborn baby, Rita, is one of every mother's worst nightmares, and it's because you were intending to have this child and you were so looking forward to seeing them, and then they unfortunately, tragically, are born dead. Having a late-term abortion is a tragedy of an entirely different kind. It's intentionally inducing a child stillborn. So that is the method of late-term abortion in Australia. The method after 20 weeks is to inject the child with digoxin, which will induce death, and then to give the mother labour-inducing drugs so that the child is born dead. So they're born stillborn. It's an intentional stillborn. And in this scenario, a mother is eligible for the $4,255 stillborn parenting payment.
Yeah, criminal.
Mate, I can't even watch stuff like that. I'm such
I can't either.
No,
I try not.
It is
just
sickening.
hard.
How dare they? It's beyond belief. Okay, Jeff, you're dead set right there, brother. My brother from another mother from the Bellambi Helltown. That's where we grew up, in Helltown.
All right, we missed the flyers last night, and we've got a lot on this weekend, so I'm just going to bring them in, okay? There's a couple here that that are over with, but anyway, it's just really important we look at them. And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggie's, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggie's. And Dissection has more news and awards and finalists in the following festivals. Documentaries Without Borders Film Festival on September the 14th. It is official selection. Impact Docs Awards, California, USA official selection for Best Documentary finalist, which will be on August the 12th, 2025. And the White Rose International Film Festival in Yorkshire, UK. Official selection for Best Documentary finalist, Best Cinematography runner-up. That date is on August 9th, 2025. And there is a court call-out for Michael Schultz on Thursday, the 24th of July at Penrith at 9:30 a.m. And on the 25th of July, Barbara O'Neill will be in Sydney. Stand with her as she makes her stand against the Healthcare Complaints Commission. It's on Friday, the 25th of July at 2 p.m. at 323 Castlereagh Street, Haymarket. And on Saturday, August 23rd at 12 p.m. at the Hyde Park Fountain, there will be a march against chemtrails. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And there will be a rally on the 27th of July for defending what matters, our God and our values. Join a peaceful gathering to affirm the importance of preserving our sacred sites and values. This is on July the 27th, Fitzroy Gardens at 2 p.m. and the march route is to be announced. PMAV have announced that it is a time to rally. It will be on next Wednesday the 30th. It is a rally against the many taxes coming to Victoria, including a 234% increase in mining tax, 189% ESV tax, as well as forcible entry into private property or face a $12,000 fine. The rally will be on Wednesday the 30th of July. Steps of Parliament, Melbourne. The speakers from 11 a.m. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance, lest we forget. And Craig Cole of the Leave Our Kids Alone is holding a stand up for our children against sexual abuse in daycare centres, sexual abuse in state care facilities and child trafficking networks that operate within the system. This will be on Saturday, August 2nd at 12 p.m. at the Flagstaff Gardens in Melbourne. And the Vax Bus has announced their Australian tour for 2025. The dates are 3rd of August, Coffs Harbour, 4th of August, Port Macquarie, 5th of August, Newcastle. 6th of August, Gosford. 7th of August, Narrabeen. 8th of August, Penrith. And 9th of August, Katoomba. And the Freedom Unites Coast and Country Parades will now be held on September the 6th and 7th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. Jodie's inviting everyone to register their interest now. A daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
All right, a lot of great events out there. Our website's playing up at the moment, guys. We'll get straight onto that after this show and see what's going on there. But yeah, you can't access it at the moment, so leave it with us.
All right, shout out to Wade, who's done an excellent interview with Babbitt, and shout out to Babbitt actually for being interviewed. Like, how dare somebody want to actually find out what the politicians are up to? So now the other thing that happened, of course, was the dancing in Parliament. And Two Worlds Collide, who always does great breakdowns, had this to say about it.
If you made it through that clip without second-hand embarrassment, then you're stronger than the economy under these clowns. That walk into Parliament looked like a rejected scene from Glee meets the Wiggles on ketamine. I've seen more coordination on a Bucks night dance floor at 2 a.m. And these are the clowns leading the country. Mate, I've seen toddlers in a Woolies car park navigate better than this pack of confused morons. They couldn't lead a Congo line at a school disco if their life depended on it. And that HECS debt relief they're talking about? Well, let me explain it to you in very simple terms. Take that bill, wipe it on your sleeve, and hand it to Aussie taxpayers already getting reamed at the servo, Coles, and paying mortgages. This ain't policy. It's a TikTok skit using taxpayer funding. These people are complete morons. Zero coordination, zero leadership, no vibes, and no clue. Australia isn't a Netflix pilot. It's a country, and start bloody running it the way it should be run. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that's exactly right, but they won't start running it. They are running it the way that they are to run it because they're under control, guys. And it is all by design.
It is. Look, there have been so many Aboriginals that are calling for the white fellas to stand up with the black fellas. Now, look, here's the thing is that we have been together for so long. I mean, half of our families are married into Aboriginal families, you know, and so this is something that might actually take the globalists and the New World Order by surprise, because if we do unite, okay, then we can actually we actually can achieve what the outcome that we want to. Listen to these two guys.
Mob have thought about this, but I think about it all the fucking time, and that is Aboriginal people and Caucasian Australians coming together and turning against the government and saying we don't want any more immigration. We don't want this country to be sold off to foreign entities and people that live in another country, but they can still buy property here. And little things like that, how we put ourselves out there for everyone else, but we all get fuck all, you know, like that sort of thing. Just imagine that, Aboriginal people and white Australians coming together for the better of the nation and going, but by the way, we're not always going to agree on anything, by the way. There's so many things, and you see the way I am. I fucking despise some things this country does to my people. But the only strongest place we can get to now would be where we actually sit on the same table and figure out what the fuck we can do to fix this country. Right? Because if we don't, like I said, the country's gone.
It's true. And then there's another one. And it's a lot of Aborigines, and it's great because if we did it, everyone would say, oh, you're racist. Yep. The Aborigines are doing it. We love them for it. Thank you.
And the country's already gone, you know.
Yet somehow the people that want this are labelled racist because we don't like the fact that people come here and don't assimilate. But do they forget that this is our country? Do they forget that when Westerners go to their country, if we don't assimilate, we are the problem? I dare you to go to any of these countries and commit the crimes against their system that they are doing here. So to all my fellow Australians, share this far and wide. Stand on your fucking truth that we don't want to lose our culture, that we don't want to lose our values. Stand on your fucking business. And if someone wants to coin you racist when you're not being racist and you're saying it for what it is, calling a spade, you let them know. There's nothing racist about calling out pieces of shit irrespective of their colour. It's FIFO all day, every fucking day. And that's my take from the controversial coach. If you don't like it, fuck.
I'll
Well,
cut
like the
that
other
bit.
guy said, the country's already gone, guys. What we're trying to do now actually is put a lasso around what we can grab and hang on to it, you know? And that's going to take some effort and some coordination from us, okay? Because it's already gone, you know. They've already done all the sign, everything's signed up, all right? So really, it's gone. What we do now is retrieve it.
Yeah, we can do this. Absolutely, we can do this. All right, look, Tulsi, she's firing from the hip everywhere at the
Your
moment.
response to what we heard from former President Obama there. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, and the documents that we will be releasing later this week that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment, is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton. And it wasn't until after that pulled President's Daily Brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's DNI James Clapper to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media. None of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted.
All right, we'll leave it there. She also goes on to say that Russia, they knew that Russia preferred Hillary because she had violent outbursts, and it's quite
They had
scathing
the
as
goods
well.
on her. They had the goods on her too, you know.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They had the goods on her, so they thought that they could actually do that, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And then Trump, he's actually gone full throttle.
If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one look, he's guilty. It's not a question, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it. And we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, she's got thousands of additional documents coming. So President Obama...
Top Cat, he's the leader of the gang. He was the leader of the gang.
Now, they've been trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein and, of course, Trump. And so they've gone, let's send it to the grand jury. Now why did the US judge, Robin Rosenberg, rejects the Department of Justice bid to unseal Epstein grand jury transcript from a Florida probe? Don't they want
to do with the name? Yeah, go on. Nothing to do with the name being Rosenberg. Yeah, nothing at all. No.
No, I know now, and also there's something very interesting that's going on where a lot of people seem to be just dying because you've got the famous lawyer who represented Jeffrey Epstein is now dead. So Roy Black was one of Jeffrey Epstein's criminal defense lawyers when he was charged with federal sex trafficking charges. Now he's been found dead. So very, very strange things are happening.
Yeah, and the right words of that, Philip, are Top Cat, the undisputable leader of the gang. Oh, that was I love that cartoon, Top Cat. We had great cartoons when I was a kid. I mean, we were getting sucked in with what was going on because back in, 59 or whatever, with the first Mickey Mouse one, where he's shedding trees with his old fella, and we had no idea. But our cartoons were, mate, they were gold.
All right, now we've covered this a bit before, but just a reminder that these are the kickbacks that the Ukraine has let in. So that the US politicians got. So Joe Biden got 92 million, Mitch McConnell got 19 million, Pelosi 86 million, Schumer 66 million, Lindsey Graham 82 million, Mitt Romney 71 million. John Cornyn, 41 million, Adam Schiff, 62 million, Dan Crenshaw, 20 million, Elizabeth Cheney, 77 million, and Kevin McCarthy, 42 million. So these were the kickbacks that were coming from the money that was sent to the Ukraine. So interesting.
There's more to come out yet, but as I say, all that can come out, guys. All right, it can be a distraction to you, but all right, we need to know what's going on. Of course we do, but we need to be concentrating in our own backyards, guys. We've got a job to do, man. We have one job to do.
And the final bit of news as well is that Trump signed the executive order on AI. So he's guaranteeing that AI remains in control and remains human-centered, pro-human, which is needed as well. We're being taken out by Brady Gun. How did that happen? So, Dave, if you'd like to wrap up and close the show, that'll be good.
No worries. Okay. We're just having a laugh here, and I'm thinking back, guys.
Oh, hang on, I forgot. Wait. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, this is really important, Dave. I'll just have to bring it in. So the French president and his wife is now going to sue Candace Owens for defamation, which is very interesting because they actually just sued 2 journalists in France for defamation and didn't win. Yeah.
She is a boy.
Interesting, isn't it? All right, so now if you'd like to wrap up, that's good. And if you'd like to close the show then.
All right. So, yeah, guys, we did have good cartoons, didn't we? Hey, we sort of had good everything. And that's what we're fighting for now, all right, for our kids and our grandkids, for them to have something good like we had, because that's already been removed from them. It's already been taken from them. Now they're trying to lock them up in digital ID, smart cities, you elites the bugs. They're getting poisoned left, right, and center. They're getting shot with medicinal bullshit left, right, and center. And it's just time, guys. All right, so, hey, think about it. What are you going to do in your community, all right, to go and be a presence and be a noise, all right, and get something done, guys, because it is crucial, mate. It's already down the road. As I say, we're going to be putting a tow rope on it and dragging it back. That's the way this battle's going, guys, all right? But, hey, we can turn back time. Exactly, Karen Smith. We can turn back time. We can win this, guys, all right? But that's going to take a concerted effort. All right, and getting it done. So the people out there that have got things out there happening, get on board with it, guys. All right, get on board with it. Let's go. Be careful where you're playing. Be as what is it? As cunning as foxes. Okay, but as gentle as doves. Just like a lot of us are, except me. All right, but you guys are. You're better. All right, I get a bit animated, but yeah, guys. Let's go out there. Let's go in amongst them. All right. But we can be as shrewd as a snake, but we can be as gentle as a dove. And that's the way we'll go forward. Good night, people.
It was like one day I went to sleep and then next minute I woke up and I was at risk of offending Scooby-Doo. You can't misgender your pets now. You can't misgender your pets. Might offend them. I don't know how you meant to figure it out. I asked sister, hey, are you a boy or a girl? I couldn't understand a word she said because she was too busy licking her own ass. What's going on? How did we get here? I remember saying, is your dog a boy or a girl? I don't know. It's too busy slobbering over a tennis ball and trying to dig to China. I remember saying when COVID was on, how can something so utterly ridiculous be so divisive and so damaging in society and so serious? I mean, you only had to do a small amount of research into what was going on, like we all know, to figure out that it was nuts, but it was tearing apart families. People were losing everything. Our agenda was so sinister. It was like, how can something that shouldn't have even got a millimetre into existence just gotten so far? But it had to. It had to happen like that. We had to wake up from where we were. The world wasn't working before. Any world that has to take a tablet to be happy, or any world that's got multi hundreds of billionaires while people can't even feed their kids, wasn't working. And it had to be something as ridiculous as COVID to do what it did. It couldn't have been wars, it couldn't have been religion. I mean, none of those have worked. It had to be something so utterly unhingedly removed to achieve what it has achieved. It had to happen like that. It still just seems so unreal. Misgendering your pets now. Well, that's the problem. While the politicians just systematically dismantle countries, civilizations, while they kill the bees, the bees, no disease, the bees, the life of everything. Bee, let's just kill them. And everyone else is dead and dying, and the vax fall out. That no, we've got to not misgender the pets. And supermarket prices are down. The gaslight, the gall. These supermarkets making hundreds of billions of dollars, saving us money. You're going to save 50 cents. Yeah, fucking right. We can't feed our kids, but they're going to save us 50 cents, but we're in $300 trillion debt as well, or whatever it is, the world's in debt too. So people go and save their 50 cents at the supermarket, buy a ready meal, take it home, heat it up in the microwave and sit there and watch MasterChef. Watch other people cook food while we rehydrate in fucking nuclear conductors our nutritious dinners. This is nuts. It's still so far removed. COVID was just the beginning. And the gall and the gaslight of the WEF and the UN we've got environmental goals. Out of the goodness of their heart, the environmental goals and the UN Indigenous population targets that looks like it's going to help. It's just theft by nature. I mean, this is a dark, weird time in humanity. But it had to happen like this. It had to jolt us out of where we were. It had to jolt us into where we're going. Just a phase. If we do come out of this, don't worry. This is just a phase. You know, it had to happen like this. In that sense, this is perfect. I know it doesn't look it, and I know there's a fallout, but it's not as bad as it looks. We do come out of this, and it's going to be a long time rebuilding as well. We have to ensure that this never happens again. And we will be cleaning up the land and the water and our kids and people and bodies and the financial system and the governance to ensure this never happens again, and hold the people that are doing this accountable. But we do come out of it because we have the transparency, we can see what's going on, we have the alternatives and the tools in technology and a couple of these other things, and we've got the points of reference now. That's my point. This had to be so far removed. There's a reason why this all just seems like unreal, like it's a dream, like it just can't be real, because it isn't in that sense. We needed these points of reference to be able to measure off and lever off so heavily that we can just never, ever allow this to happen again. Next time you're in disbelief of the removedness, the unhingedness of these decision makers who just seem to have sold us out to fucking aliens or some shit. I mean, who does this? Just know that this had to happen. This ridiculous, sinister unfolding had to happen so that we've got those points of reference, and it's to propel us to down the path, send us down the path, to outline what is important to us and crystallise who we are and what spirituality is and how important nature is and each other, and to see through the illusion. A lot of this isn't happening like it looks like it's happening. To see through the illusion of it and know that we have to take responsibility for it, and it will propel us down the path that we need to. The reason it feels like it's not even real, that it's just too nuts to even be real, because it isn't in that sense. So you just know we're on track. Laugh at the ridiculousness of it. Everyone's seeing through it, and it is just a phase. We will come out of this. Humanity will come out of this, and this will never happen again. Anyway, I'm feeling for that postman that identified as a dog and accidentally bit himself. Chased himself down the road and bit himself. Anyway, love you, bones. Yeah.